All right, so we walk out the back gate, and it's about a 1,000-meter patrol, which is actually kind of short in terms of patrols. I usually like a longer patrol because it gets us in the zone, but that's fine. We're all pros. We're a high-performing team. So we patrol out, and it's not very long before we're at what's called a LLC, or last line of cover. This is where we basically stop. The assault teams get ready. I basically send my snipers out to get high ground. Usually they climb up to the top of the buildings and get them positioned, and then the assaulters go in. This compound was a walled compound with 3 buildings in that compound total. This is kind of normal, typical for that part of the world. So the guys go into the first building, and if I find a bunch of women and children, multi-generational, that's normal. All right, so they get those folks squared away, make sure they're taken care of and not unhappy. All right, we're trying to keep everything quiet. Another myth of the SEAL teams is we love bullets and shooting and all that stuff. We try to stay as quiet as possible for as long as possible, because if we make noise, the element of surprise is gone. So as quiet as possible, get those people settled. Guys go into the second building, and it's what's called a dry hole. There's nothing there. Go through that, nothing there. Finally, guys burst into the third building, first room, and right there in the center of the room is our guy. And he's sitting in a chair, and he has strapped to his chest a rack of grenades and an AK-47. Now, in this environment, that alone is permission to shoot, because that is lethal threat right away, okay? But my guys are a high-performing team. They understand how to modulate their energy, which gives them the ability to see things and take a few breaths and see things that other people might not see. So in a few milliseconds, they notice what most people may have not noticed, and that is the guy is fast asleep. And so they don't shoot him. They slowly walk up to him. They slowly take the AK-47 off. They slowly remove the grenades, and then they gently wake him up. And he wakes up staring at 5 steely-eyed Navy SEALs. And I'm told that the look on his face was priceless. And we grab him, we take him back to where he's supposed to be. Completely bulletless, completely bloodless. This is, again, how most Navy SEAL operations go. And that's how most Navy SEALs want the operations to go. The movies and the TV and all that stuff, because it has to be dramatic, they always highlight that stuff. Most of our missions, no one would write anything about, okay, because they're not sexy enough for TV. They're sexy enough for me, that's cool, right? Sneak in like ghosts. That's how most missions go. And that's how you do it with a high-performing team. How do you do it? How did we do it? We performed optimally versus focusing just on peak. Okay, we managed our energy when we needed to manage our energy. We peaked when we needed to peak. We relaxed when we needed to relax. Throughout that whole process, from the moment we heard we have a beat on this guy, all the way until we were waking him up, sitting in his room. We focused on attributes over skills. Every high-performing team does this. We dynamically subordinated constantly, shifting that alpha position. We had deep trust in one another, and we're masters of uncertainty. The idea is you can take all of this and do it with any team you're in, whether it's this team, whether it's your home team, whether my wife and I try to do it at home with our teenagers. A lot of high-performing behavior needs to happen when we have teenagers, those of you who've had them, right? We can do this anywhere, anytime. So all of us really are superheroes, and all of us have superheroes in our midst. And I know that's a little bit cliche, but really it's to say that we all have our own specific, unique set of attributes that we bring to each team. And it's our responsibility as leaders and as teammates to understand what those are, show them to each other, and start zippering them together like a a finely tuned unit. If you're interested in reading more about the attributes, the book is there. Even if you don't want to read the book, if you scan that, I have a free assessment tool on the website that you can figure out where you stand on some of the attributes, the grit, mental acuity, and drive attributes. You get kind of a score, get a snapshot. But again, use this stuff to figure out how to do better. You already have a high-performing team. Take a couple steps and make it better. And thank you very much for having me.